bringing you with a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a third place OCG cubic deck profile. It's cubics this time, which is really interesting. Partially the reason why I do these series is to find the interesting decks and kind of bring them to you, to light. So yeah, it's actually quite a unique list, I think. It's quite, looks like quite a fun build of cubics, but we'll jump right into the deck list, that way you guys can determine for yourself. So we're running 3 cubic Nova, 2 Quickdraw Synchron, 1 Gofu, 3 Duza, 1 Buster Gundil, 1 Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion, triple Maxx, 1 Geira Guile the Cubic King, 3 Jet Synchron, and 1 Vijam. Kind of a cool ratio. I know we can't play through Maxi or Gofu anymore. We actually can't play Maxi at all, but this is the overall lack of cubics is kind of really cool overall, because this card's really cool, and this card is actually really stupid. For those of you who don't know what this card does, is it cannot be normal summoned set. Must be special summoned from your hand by revealing 3 other cubic monsters in your hand with different names, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. It is unaffected by other monsters' effects whose original attack is less 3,000 or less. When this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack during the battle phase. During the end phase, each player takes 3,000 points of damage. So this is really just used to wrap up big amounts of damage, large amounts of damage on the board. It's 3,000. It can make 2 attacks of the same turn, plus the 3,000 damage afterwards, which is really cool. You only use each effect once a turn, but that's okay. So it's pretty cool. It's a Quickdraw Synchron. I actually don't know why this stuff is in here. I think it's because it's easy to summon, and they're good token fodders, and they're good link fodders. So there's no actual synchros in this deck which ultimately makes this deck even weirder. Same thing goes for Gofu. There's no actual synchros in this deck. Duza, for those of you who don't know what Duza does, is if this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send 1 cubic monster from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, during either player's turn, if a monster was sent to the graveyard this turn, this card can, while this card was face up on the field, this card gains 200 attack for each monster with the different name in the graveyard until the end of the turn. So basically, this card is automatically just 1,800 just because of its effect, which is really cool. Buster Gundil. We have all of these cards, by the way, except for Designator, Red Reboot, and the Troymare stuff and Trisbaena. But I want to point them out because we'll talk about them later. This card's really cool. You can special summon it by revealing 3 cubic monsters from your hand. This card gains 3,000 attack. It's really big beat stick, and when it is, you could target 3 cubic monsters in graveyard, special summon them, and then add a cubic monster from your graveyard. That's actually really cool. So we're gonna move on to the spells. 3 cubic wave, 3 foolish grow goods, 3 tuning, 3 designator from the grave, 3 twin twister, 3 cubic karma. I assume that these 2 cards are kind of just they kind of are in conjunction with each other to send, I guess, these cards to the graveyard or something like that. This card and this card. For those of you who don't know what cubic wave does, is you target 1 cubic monster from you control and target 1 face of monster your opponent controls. The attack of that monster you control becomes double its current attack, and if it does, the attack of the monster your opponent controls becomes half of its current attack. You can banish this card and any number of cubic monsters from your graveyard. Then target face of monsters equal to your on your opponent's controls equal to the number of monsters equal to the banished cubic monsters. Place 1 cubic counter on each of them. Monsters with cubic counters cannot attack. Also negate their effects. This is really cool. That's a pretty cool effect. Cubic Karma is a continuous spell, which reads is when this card is activated, you can target 1 cubic monster you control, except Vijam the Cubic Seed for some reason. Send any number of Vijam Cubic Seed, which there's only 1 in the deck, from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. Then that monster gains 800 attack for each of them. Even if this card leaves the field. So if it gets a seed or something like that, you're still pretty good. During your opponent's turn, if Vijam the Cubic Seed is special summon by the effect of a cubic monster, you'd send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, half your opponent's life points, and half your opponent's life points. That's actually really insane. That's actually really nutty. And the last effect is you can manage this card from the graveyard to target one cubic monster from your deck and add it to your hand. That's pretty cool. So when it's in the graveyard, it just is a Stratos alternatively. So that's really interesting. Onto the traps, 3 Unification of the Cubic Lords, 3 Red Reboot. This card's actually getting a lot of play in the OCG. I thought this card was actually trash, but I'm actually starting to change my mind on that concept. It's really cool, actually. This card is the Unification. If you fusion summon 1 cubic monster from your fusion, I guess you're not really using this for the fusion, because it doesn't really do anything, because there's no fusions. But the graveyard effect, I guess it has one. You can manage this card from the graveyard to special summon 1 level 4 lower cubic monster from your hand or deck, ignoring asymmetric conditions. And if you do, it cannot be disturbed by battle or card effects. That's actually neat. That's actually neat. So you're not really using this for the fusion summon. It's actually a pretty lackluster fusion spell or fusion card for that purpose. So I guess I can see why you don't really want to play it for that. So on to the extra deck. 1 Gear Gigant X, 1 Skulldeat, 1 Firewall, 1 Troymare Gryphon, 1 Topologic Trisbaena, 1 Summon Sorcereress, 1 Troymare Phoenix, 1 Needlefiber, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Troymare Goblin, 1 Security Dragon, 1 Security Gardna, kind of interesting, 1 Troymare Mermaid, 1 Link Spider, and 1 Linkuriboh. If you don't know what this card does, it can only be summoned using a Link Cyberse monster. Sorry, Cyberse League monster, which there are two in here. After this card is special summoned, you take no effect damage for the rest of the turn. I guess this is a really cool counter against Trick Stars. You could just keep doing your really cool plays and stuff like that. So once per turn, if you would take battle damage or effect damage, you would. Once per turn, if you would take battle damage or effect damage, you take no damage. You cannot use it. It cannot be used as link material, and you can only control 1 Cyber Guard. So kind of just there to mitigate all the damage. You could also play it as Walnut, but I mean this doubles as also an extra deck monster, so you can have more extra stuff for it. If you compare this with Proxy Dragon, it's really cool because that means Proxy Dragon can just simply protect itself if it needs to. So that's pretty cool. Also, this deck is also playing 14 Link monsters, 1 XEs. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this, please leave a comment section down below. I'll have the deck list also in the description if you want to just copy paste it into your YDKs or whatever and do all that. I'm going to see if I can find a way to get YDKs just so that way you can just have them in the description as well, and just so that way you just don't have to worry about it and just copy paste them. So if you guys did enjoy, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Chithonian signing out.